What if I told you that the food you've been taught to trust for muscle strength after 60 isn't actually the best tool for the job? For decades, eggs have been called the gold standard of protein, but here's the surprising truth. There's another food that protects aging muscles even better, even if you're 70, 75 or beyond, and it's probably sitting quietly in your kitchen right now, overlooked. Let's step back for a moment. After the age of 50, something called sarcopenia begins to silently eat away at muscle tissue. You might not notice it at first. Stairs feel just a little steeper, your balance isn't quite as steady, your legs tire out faster, but the science is clear. By 70, most people have lost up to 30% of their muscle mass. And with it, strength, mobility, and even metabolic health. Why does this happen? It's not just about aging. It's about how your body processes protein differently as you get older. Your muscles become less sensitive to the signals that tell them to rebuild. And here's where the story gets fascinating. Some foods don't just give your body protein. They actually switch back on the molecular pathways that keep your muscles from shrinking. So, today we're going beyond the obvious eat more protein advice. I'm going to show you the science-backed food that beats eggs for protecting aging muscles. We'll explore how it works at the cellular level, how it supports your metabolism, and how just one small change in your daily meals can restore strength you thought was lost forever. By the end of this, you'll not only know what to eat, you'll understand why it works and how to use it strategically to stay strong, mobile, and independent well into your 70s and beyond. Ready to the hidden problem of anabolic resistance? Unlock this. Let us dive in. Why traditional protein sources lose their edge after 60. How age-related anabolic resistance makes it harder for muscles to respond to protein. And why simply eating more eggs or meat isn't always enough. The hidden nutrient that triggers muscle-building pathways. Introducing a key amino acid and its metabolic role in reigniting muscle repair even in seniors with sarcopenia. This surprising food outperforms eggs for muscle preservation, revealing the specific food rich in compounds that enhance muscle protein synthesis and support longevity pathways. The science behind how it works at the cellular level, breaking down how this food activates mTOR signaling and preserves mitochondrial health, crucial for maintaining strength after 60. Simple daily protocol. How much, when, and how to combine it for maximum effect. Practical meal timing strategies pairing with other nutrients for better absorption, and how to avoid common mistakes. Beyond muscles, the unexpected longevity benefits of this food, how this food also protects joints, improves insulin sensitivity, and supports overall metabolic health, helping you stay active and independent for decades. As we age, one of the most overlooked changes in our body is something scientists call anabolic resistance. Simply put, the muscle tissue that used to eagerly absorb protein and turn it into strength becomes less responsive. Think of it like trying to water a plant with soil that's hardened over time. The water doesn't soak in the same way, and the plant doesn't thrive like it once did. Here's what the research shows. After about age 50, the signaling pathways in your muscles that tell them, hey, it's time to repair and rebuild become sluggish. Even if you eat the same amount of protein you did in your 30s or 40s, your muscles don't react as strongly. A landmark study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that older adults need almost twice as much protein in a single meal to stimulate the same level of muscle protein synthesis that younger adults get with a normal serving. Now, this doesn't mean eggs, chicken, or fish suddenly stop being valuable, but it does mean they're not enough by themselves, especially if your meals are spread out in small, low-protein portions. And here's where it gets tricky. Many seniors naturally eat less over time, either because of appetite changes, digestion issues, or simply habits. So, even with healthy eating, they're often not hitting the threshold meat, the amino acid that wakes up aging muscles that aging muscles need. Have you noticed how a plate of eggs might feel satisfying, but your energy still dips in the afternoon, or how even after eating a decent breakfast, you still feel weaker than you used to? That's anabolic resistance in action. But there's another piece to this puzzle. Not all proteins are created equal. It's not just about how much protein you eat. It's about the amino acid profile inside that protein. Certain amino acids act like molecular keys that unlock the rebuilding machinery in your muscles. And here's the surprising truth. Some foods have a much higher concentration of these critical amino acids than eggs. That's why today's focus isn't just about eating more protein. It's about choosing the right kind of protein that bypasses some of the age-related resistance and sparks your muscles back to life. Now, we'll talk about one specific nutrient, one that's been shown in multiple studies to actually switch back on the pathways that protect aging muscles. But before we move on, pause for a moment and ask yourself, how many meals do you eat in a day that truly feel like they're nourishing your strength, not just filling you up? If this resonates so far, stay with me because the next piece is the key to making any protein, yes, even eggs, work better for you. Inside every bite of protein, there's a collection of amino acids, tiny building blocks your body uses to repair and grow muscle. But here's what most people don't realize. Not all amino acids are equal when it comes to signaling your muscles to rebuild. There's one in particular that acts like a master switch, leucine. Leucine is an essential branch-chain amino acid, and it's the primary trigger for activating a pathway in your muscles called mTOR, short for mechanistic target of Rapami. Think of mTOR as the command center for growth and repair. When leucine levels rise in your bloodstream after a meal, it sends a loud, clear signal to your muscles. It's time to rebuild, but here's the problem for anyone over 60. Your muscles become less sensitive to leucine. It's like turning up the volume on a radio, but the speakers are worn out. They don't respond as strongly. This is why many seniors can eat what looks like a decent protein meal and still fail to spark meaningful muscle repair. Now, here's where it gets fascinating. Research published in Nutrients in 2021 showed that older adults need a higher leucine threshold per meal, roughly 5 to 3 g of leucine to fully stimulate muscle protein synthesis. For reference, a typical egg only gives you about 0.5 g of leucine. You'd have to eat 5 or 6 eggs in one sitting just to hit the right signal strength, and realistically, most people aren't doing that every day. So, what's the solution? It's not just piling on more eggs or meat. It's about choosing protein sources naturally packed with higher leucine density along with other synergistic nutrients that enhance absorption and utilization. And here's the exciting part. There's one food completely natural, affordable, and easy to digest that has a leucine profile far more potent than eggs. But before we reveal it, let's make this practical. Eggs vs whey protein. Who really wins? Simple tool you can apply right now is called protein pulsing. Instead of grazing on small, low-protein snacks, focus on 2 or 3 solid meals a day where you deliberately hit that leucine threshold. For most people, that means aiming for at least 25 to 30 g of high-quality protein in one sitting. This strategy alone has been shown to overcome some of the anabolic resistance linked to aging. So now you know the key amino acid that drives this entire process. The next question is, where can you get it in the most efficient, muscle-friendly form? And this is where the surprising food comes in. One that not only delivers leucine and spades, but also supports your metabolism and longevity in ways eggs can't. Before we go deeper, if this insight is already sparking some aha moments for you, consider subscribing to this channel. There's a lot more science-backed content like this to help you stay strong, focused, and healthy as you age, and I'd love to share it with you. Now, let's talk about the unexpected food that beats eggs at their own game. So, what is this overlooked food that packs more muscle-preserving power than eggs, especially for anyone over 60? It sets whey protein isolate. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Isn't whey protein just for bodybuilders? Actually, no. In the last decade, a growing body of research has shown that whey protein is one of the most effective science-backed tools for combating age-related muscle loss in seniors, even those who aren't lifting heavy weights. Here's why. Whey protein is incredibly rich in leucine, that master amino acid we talked about earlier. In fact, per gram of protein, whey has one of the highest leucine concentrations of any natural food. A single 25 g serving of high-quality whey isolate can easily provide 723 g of leucine, hitting the exact threshold older muscles need to switch back on their rebuilding machinery. Compare that to eggs where you need 5 or 6 just to reach the same leucine level. But it's not just about leucine. Whey is also rapidly absorbed, much faster than whole foods like meat or eggs. This means it spikes amino acid levels in your bloodstream quickly, sending a strong, clear signal to your muscles to begin repair. Studies published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society show that seniors who supplement with whey protein experience greater gains in lean muscle mass, improved balance, and even better mobility scores than those relying on standard dietary protein alone. And there's more. Whey doesn't just feed your muscles. It also supports your metabolism. It's been shown to improve insulin sensitivity, reduce inflammation, and even boost glutathione, your body's master antioxidant, which becomes more important as you age. So, while eggs are a great whole food, they simply can't match the concentrated muscle-specific benefits of whey. Now, this doesn't mean you have to abandon eggs entirely. Think of them as part of the foundation. But if your goal is truly to fight sarcopenia and stay strong well into your 70s and beyond, adding a daily whey protein shake, especially after light resistance exercise, can create a powerful anabolic response. Have you ever noticed how seniors who stay vibrant and active seem to have a fullness to their strength, not just thin, frail arms and legs? That's not just luck. It's about feeding the muscles in a way they can actually use. And wait, is that better than almost any other food for someone past 60? So, here's a practical tip. Aim for 120 to 30 gram serving of whey protein isolate daily, preferably after a walk, some light body weight movements, or any kind of resistance exercise. Pairing the protein spike with even mild exercise dramatically amplifies the muscle-preserving effect. Now, we'll dive deeper into the science of how whey actually works at the cellular level, why it activates M2 signaling more effectively than other proteins, and how it protects your mitochondria, the tiny energy factories that keep your muscles and metabolism youthful. But before we how whey triggers mTOR and repairs mitochondria continue, I'd love to know, have you ever tried whey protein before, or has it always felt like something not for you? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. When we talk about muscle loss with age, it's tempting to think it's just about not eating enough protein. But the deeper story lies in your cells, specifically in how they respond to nutrients and energy signals. And this is where whey protein does something extraordinary. Inside your muscle fibers are sensors that constantly scan for amino acids, energy levels, and stress signals. One of the most important of these sensors is M2R, mechanistic target of Rapami. You can think of M2R as the foreman of a construction site. When it detects enough building materials, especially leucine, it tells your cells, we have the resources. let's build. That means repairing damaged muscle fibers, synthesizing new proteins, and maintaining strength. Here's what the research shows. As we age, this mTOR signaling becomes less responsive. It's like the foreman gets sluggish, harder to motivate. Even when amino acids are present, the response is weaker. But studies, including one in the American Journal of Physiology, Endocrinology, and Metabolism, have shown that whey protein uniquely overcomes this sluggishness because it spikes blood leucine levels faster and higher than almost any other food. This sharp rise gives mTOR a strong enough signal to fully activate something that's crucial when you're over 60. But whey doesn't just stimulate mTOR, it also helps protect your mitochondria, the tiny energy factories inside every muscle cell. Why does that matter? Because weak, dysfunctional mitochondria are one of the root causes of frailty. They can't produce enough energy. Your muscles fatigue faster, and your entire metabolism slows down. Whey contains specific peptides and amino acid patterns that support mitochondrial biogenesis, the creation of new healthy mitochondria. That means better endurance, better strength, and even better brain energy. And here's a fascinating side note. Whey protein also boosts glutathione production, your body's master antioxidant. Aging muscles are more prone to oxidative stress, which accelerates damage and weakness. By supporting glutathione, whey helps reduce that oxidative load, keeping your muscle tissue younger on a cellular level. Have you noticed how after certain meals like a heavy breakfast, you feel sluggish, while other meals leave you more energized and alert? That's partly your mitochondria responding to the nutrient signals. When you feed them the right fuel, they literally perform better. Now, you might be wondering, isn't activating mTOR all the time bad? You may have heard about longevity researchers warning that too much mTOR or activation can accelerate aging. Here's the nuance. Chronic overactivation from constant snacking and excess calories can be harmful. But periodic intentional activation, especially after light exercise, actually preserves muscle and function without harming longevity. Whey protein taken strategically provides this controlled pulse of mTOR or activation that aging muscles desperately need. So to recap, whey works on 3 levels. It activates mTOR more powerfully than eggs or meat, reigniting muscle building. It supports mitochondria, improving strength and metabolism. It reduces oxidative stress through glutathione, keeping your cells resilient. In the next section, we'll make this even more practical. I'll walk you through exactly how to use whey, how much, when to take it, and how to combine it with other nutrients and habits for maximum effect. Before we move on, if you're finding these insights helpful and you want more science-backed strategies to stay strong and independent, consider subscribing. It's free and it ensures you don't miss future videos that dive even deeper into topics like this. Now that you understand why whey protein is so effective, let's turn it into a simple science-backed daily protocol you can actually follow. First, the dose. Research consistently shows that older, simple post-exercise protein ritual for seniors adults need at least 25 to 30 g of high-quality protein per meal to overcome anabolic resistance. For whey specifically, that translates to about 1 scoop of whey protein isolate, roughly 25 grams of protein, which gives you around 2.73 g of leucine, hitting that all-important threshold for muscle repair. Second, the timing. One of the most powerful ways to use whey is after any form of movement, even light activity. You don't need to be lifting heavy weights. A 20-minute walk, some chair squats, or simple resistance band exercises are enough to prime your muscles. After movement, your muscle cells are like open doors. They're more sensitive to nutrients. By taking whey within 30-60 minutes of activity, you create a perfect window for muscle rebuilding. Third, the combination. Whey protein works even better when paired with small amounts of other nutrients that enhance its absorption and utilization. For example, add a few grams of creatine monohydrate, proven to help older adults maintain strength and balance. Pair it with magnesium-rich foods like spinach or magnesium supplement, which supports muscle relaxation and recovery. If you're having it as a snack, blend in a handful of berries for antioxidants that support recovery and brain health. Here at Estes, a simple daily muscle preservation ritual you can try: morning movement. Start your day with 10 to 15 minutes of light resistance exercises, body weight squats, wall push-ups, or a short walk. Post-movement whey shake. Mix 1 scoop of whey protein isolate with water or unsweetened almond milk. Add a handful of blueberries and a pinch of cinnamon for flavor and added anti-inflammatory benefits. Evening protein focus. For your last meal of the day, aim for another 25 to 30 g of protein from whole foods. This could be salmon, chicken, lentils, or yes, even eggs. Combining whole food protein later in the day with your whey pulse earlier creates a steady anabolic environment for your muscles. Have you noticed how most seniors tend to graze on tiny meals or snacks throughout the day? Ironically, that habit often keeps them under the leucine threshold. A better strategy is what researchers call protein pulsing fewer meals, but each with enough protein to actually stimulate muscle repair. And if you're worried about gaining weight from whey protein, here's a reassuring fact. Studies show it's actually one of the most satiating proteins. It helps regulate appetite, stabilizes blood sugar, and even supports fat loss when combined with light exercise. So imagine this, even if you're 70, 75 or beyond, by simply adding 1 strategic whey shake and reorganizing your protein intake, you can reignite the signals your body needs to stay strong. It's like giving your muscles a wake-up call they've been waiting for. Now, we'll go beyond muscles. I'll share the unexpected longevity benefits of whey protein, how it not only keeps you strong but also protects your joints, sharpens your metabolism, and even supports cognitive health. Before we move on, let me ask, if you were to add just 1 intentional protein pulse to your day, would it be in the morning, after movement, or later in the evening? Longevity benefits beyond muscle strength. Think about it. Because the answer can shape how you integrate this habit effortlessly. When most people think of whey protein, they see it as a muscle supplement, but here's what the science is uncovering. Whey's benefits extend far beyond muscle preservation. In fact, it supports multiple systems that determine how well you age: your joints, metabolism, immune function, even your brain. Let's start with joint health. As you lose muscle with age, more stress gets transferred to your joints. That's one reason why arthritis, pain, and stiffness often feel worse in people who are frail. By maintaining lean muscle, Whey indirectly protects your joints from excessive wear. But there's more. Whey contains bioactive peptides that reduce inflammation markers like CRPC reactive protein, which are linked to joint pain and tissue damage. Research in the British Journal of Nutrition found that seniors supplementing with whey experience not only better muscle function, but also improve joint mobility and reduce stiffness compared to controls. Then there's metabolic health. Muscle isn't just for movement. It's your body's largest glucose sink, meaning it helps regulate blood sugar. The more muscle you have, the better your insulin sensitivity, which reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome. Whey protein, because of its rapid absorption and unique amino acid profile, has been shown to improve post-meal blood sugar control even when consumed with carbs. This is a game-changer for seniors struggling with fluctuating energy or pre-diabetes. And here's a fascinating bonus. Whey supports your immune system. It contains precursors for glutathione, your master antioxidant, which helps your immune cells stay strong and repair damage from oxidative stress. Aging naturally weakens immunity, but whey can help bolster those defenses in a way that most whole foods can't match as efficiently. But perhaps one of the most unexpected benefits is its link to cognitive health. Your brain, like your muscles, suffers when your metabolism slows. Chronic inflammation and poor glucose control accelerate brain aging by stabilizing blood sugar, reducing inflammation, and supporting mitochondria. Whey indirectly helps keep your brain sharper. Some studies even suggest it may improve mood and stress resilience by influencing neurotransmitter precursors like tryptophan. Think about this for a moment. One simple habit, adding a targeted daily whey shake, doesn't just help you stand up from a chair more easily or climb stairs with less effort. It could mean more independence, fewer falls, better blood sugar, steadier mood, sharper thinking, and a body that feels decades younger than your actual age. And all of this comes without the need for drastic dieting or extreme exercise routines. It's not a magic pill. It's leveraging what we know about physiology and giving your aging cells exactly what they're missing. So, here's the bigger picture. Whey protein isn't just a muscle food. It's a longevity food. It supports strength, mobility, metabolism, immunity, and even your mental clarity. That's why many geriatric nutrition experts now consider it one of the most effective low-effort interventions for healthy aging. In a moment, we'll wrap everything up with a clear roadmap you can start today, recapping the science, the simple action steps, and a small challenge I'd love you to try for just 1 week to feel the difference for yourself. But before we conclude, I want to hear from you. What's the one area of aging that worries you most? Losing strength, losing mobility, or losing mental sharpness? Share it in the comments below, because your input will shape future videos. So let's bring this full circle. We started with a simple but powerful truth. After 60, your muscles don't respond the same way they used to. Age brings anabolic resistance, meaning the very same meals that kept you strong in your 30s or 40s are no longer enough to maintain your strength in your 70s. That's why sarcopenia, the 7-day challenge for stronger, healthier aging, gradual loss of muscle, is so common, silently robbing people of mobility, balance, and independence. But you learned that it's not just about eating more protein. It's about hitting the leucine threshold. Your aging muscles need to switch back on their rebuilding machinery. Eggs are good, yes, but they fall short when it comes to leucine density and rapid absorption. That's where whey protein isolate comes in. It's one of the most efficient ways to trigger muscle repair, even in seniors with sarcopenia. It activates mTOR signaling, supports mitochondrial health, and reduces oxidative stress. And the benefits go far beyond muscle: better joint support, steadier blood sugar, improved metabolism, a stronger immune system, and even sharper brain function. Think of whey not as a bodybuilder supplement, but as a longevity tool, one that nourishes the very systems that keep you vibrant and independent. And here's the best part. It doesn't require a huge lifestyle overhaul. Just one daily whey shake, strategically taken after light activity, can shift the trajectory of your aging muscles. Combine that with protein pulsing, fewer but more intentional protein-rich meals, and you're giving your body exactly what it needs to fight frailty. So, here is my challenge for you. For the next 7 days, add one simple whey protein ritual to your routine. Do 10 minutes of light movement like chair squats or a short walk, and then have 1 scoop of whey protein isolate within an hour. That's it, just 1 week. See how you feel. Notice if your energy is steadier, if climbing stairs feels easier, if your appetite and mood feel more balanced. Because here's the truth. Aging isn't just about the number of years. It's about the quality of those years. and you have far more control over that than you've been led to believe. So, if this resonated with you, if you're serious about staying strong, mobile, and clear-minded well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond, make this small science-backed change. Your future self will thank you, and before you go, I want to hear from you. What's one small habit you're willing to add this week to support your strength and longevity? Drop it in the comments. I read everyone. If you found this helpful, give it a like and share it with someone who needs this information. And if you want more science-backed strategies to stay vibrant as you age, subscribe to this channel. We're building a community that's rewriting what healthy aging looks like. Remember, your muscles are more than just strength. They're your metabolism, your mobility, your independence. Feed them well, and they'll carry you further than you ever imagined.